Hello and welcome back to the Ironman. Over the past couple of days I've just been working on some AFK skills while I've had time to, kind of chill playing on the mobile app. We got 40 smithing out of that, as well as getting started on some wood cutting and fletching. Now I think it's time to do the thing that it's probably safe to say everyone does early on in their new accounts. And the thing that everyone does when they first start off their account is, of course, Waterfall Quest. I mean, the reward is just so good, how can you not? Since we are hardcore, this is always the stressful part. But I believe if you're in combat with the skeletons, you're relatively safe from the moss giants. And also, one thing that can come in handy here is that invention perk that gave us 500 extra HP is going to come in clutch because it makes me much less likely to get one shot. So we should be okay. Okay, we got in and got out. Easy enough. I just realized in the last clip I called the 500 health bonus that you get as an archaeology thing an invention perk. My bad. But also, invention and archaeology both are just skills about messing around with weird technology, so philosophically, is there really a difference? But there's Waterfall Quest done, and that is also the start of our melee combat training. So I got in kind of a questing mood, and I really wanted to just bang out several in a row, so late at night when I really was feeling tired and I wasn't super up to recording live commentary, I ran through all the, the newbie quests, the novice ones, all the ones where you convince your friend to try out RS3 and they're kind of skeptical and they do a few things and it's mostly these intro quests. That's basically what we ran through. It was Cook's Assistant, Restless Ghost, and a couple of other ones that you'll see here in the background. Shield of Arav, I think. So that just really gets us started on the questing. These are all foundational. We're just laying the foundation for the building that's going to come in later. They need it done. What can I say? The rewards aren't particularly great, but they're easy and quick enough to do. Okay, we are continuing to quest, this time while growing a cat, for future quests. And this one is Rune Mysteries. Okay, there it is. It's not one of my favorite quests. This is a bit long for kind of the novice intro quests, but it gets us started on rune crafting. And I'll admit I may have forgotten about the Wicked Hood entirely, so I'm going to run over to Berthorpe while I'm thinking about it and grab Wicked Hood, so now I don't have to run all the way from the Draenor Lodestone to the Wizard's Tower again. Maybe it's because I'm just dumb, or maybe it's because I usually spacebar through quests without paying attention, but I'm just now realizing the parallels between having like 4 wizard orders that are based around different philosophies in this wizard school. Definitely getting some Harry Potter vibes. Okay, that should do it for Rune Memories. After we get through this dialogue. Yep, there it is. We managed to stop Slytherin, the Red Order from causing all kinds of chaos, and further runecrafting XP as reward. Probably the best reward from completing that quest is, of course, the Rune Essence chest. So I have 105 pieces of Rune Essence right now, which is not a whole lot, but it's going to replenish with more as we level up runecrafting. So I'm not going to need any Rune Essence for runecrafting necessarily for a while, but once we get up to the higher RC levels and we need some runes, it's going to be really handy. I'm raising this imp around the air altar for the imp catcher quest, and I love how my kitten is just running after me. He's just trying his best to participate, but he's really not very fast. Okay, there's imp catcher done, and we finally have an amulet that is going to be somewhat useful in combat, and some magic XP. I took a short break from the questing grind just to focus on growing this cat and finish it up, doing something AFK, and he's at 99%, so he should be done any second now. Okay, there it is. We have a full-grown cat, don't need to worry about feeding it anymore, and we needed this for Recipe for Disaster, and there might be another quest or two. It's escaping me right now, but there's at least one quest that you need a full-grown cat for. Okay, back on the questing grind. This time it's Diamond in the Rough. The quest order I've been going down isn't necessarily anything too crazy. I'm basically just doing the recommended ones. I think all of these are novice. However, Diamond in the Rough is one step closer to Menaphos, so it's a very important quest to get done in order to get that unlocked in the future. Okay, next quest. This one is Priest in Peril, and there it is. So it isn't necessary to complete Priest in Peril anymore in order to enter Mauritania. The only requirement for entering is to kill this ghoul, which you can do without completing the quest. And I wasn't aware, but it looks like you have to do it regardless of completing the quest as well. But I decided to do it because it was fast, didn't take long, and Priest in Peril will be required for Nature Spirit, which unlocks a lot of stuff in the future, so we're going to have to do it anyway. Canifis Lodestone unlocked. That one's big. And the main reason I wanted to come here is we really need to get our magic up, because having high magic is super handy for, killing bosses and quests and stuff. So I'm going to start
training magic through Slayer, and being in Canifis allows us to use Mazchna. Apparently not. I was under the impression that this was still the 20 combat Slayer Master, but it looks like he's been changed around with Vanaka and Edgeville now. Looks like Vanaka has actually left the comfort of his basement and came outside, which is super convenient for us. So our first Slayer task is going to be zombies, which is perfect. I'm pretty sure those are weak to magic. And also they're down in this dungeon, so we don't even have to go very far to kill them. So we're maybe a third of the way into the Slayer task, but even against zombies, this Mind Spike that we have kind of sucks accuracy-wise. But luckily, you can just straight up buy magic weapons and armor up to tier 30 from Betty here in Port Sarim. So I'm going to get myself kitted out with some Imp Hide and an Imp Horn Wand and Book, and that should help out a lot. It really is a shame that Imp Hide is the tier 10 set and not like the tier 30 or 40 or 50 set that you'd actually use more often, because this looks dope. I'd way rather run around wearing this than Batwing. Okay, this should be the first Slayer task done, and we have to complete a few more to start earning Slayer points, but at this stage, completing tasks really does not take very long. I picked up this note from Vanaka, which was down in Edgeville Dungeon where the zombies were, where he used to live. Apparently he's moved out into the ruins due to an increasingly challenging rental market. You know what? That's a struggle we're all dealing with right now, man, so I can relate. So I have a task I have to use ranged on right now, and it looks like the archery shop guy also sells ranged armor up to level 40 this time, so he's even better than the magic stop owner, which is great because crafting is actually a fairly difficult skill to get up high early in the game when you're Ironman. Okay, we're another task down at this point. My next assignment from Vanaka is cockroaches? Like, I don't even know what to do with that, man. I didn't even know cockroaches were in the game. Unless he's referring to those things in, like, the stronghold of player safety or whatever down there. I guess I could kill those. Okay, yeah, I'm just dumb. These things down in the dungeon underneath Edgeville are cockroaches. For some reason, my brain just translated these as being scarabs or some other kind of bug, and cockroaches did not ring a bell. And also, for going through the dungeon for the first time, you can open up this treasure chest and you get 10k cash, as well as a very small amount of XP and some gloves. You know, back in the day, that 10k cash was your starter money. But these days, now that you can kill Croesus relatively easily, 10k is a pittance. Oh, and these XP lamps, you can use these on anything, and it's the same amount of XP. You get 500 XP twice. Any skill. What's the most annoying skill to get started? Probably Herblore, to be honest. Okay, this should be level 10 Herblore. So I can clean a couple more things. Marintils and Terramins. I've had this path task to buy my own house for a really long time, so now that we're running past this place just to get to our Hobgoblin Slayer assignment, you know, let's just get it over with. Let's buy our first house. I'm probably not going to be training much construction in the near future, but it's 1k. Might as well have it. And since they got a sawmill operator right here, it looks like I could probably telly the house, which is in Remington, with a full inventory of logs, turn them into planks, and then just pop in doors and build some chairs or something like that. So that is likely how we will get our first few construction levels. We just got our first ever Superior Slayer monster spawn, and it's a Hobgoblin. I didn't know you could get them for, you know, non-Slayer level requirement creatures, but there we go. I don't know if we got additional Slayer XP for that. We probably did, and I just missed it, but you do get a couple drops off of their table. Okay, we just finished up yet another cockroaches task, but this time we start getting Slayer points. Looks like it's just 1 point per task for Vanaka until we complete. Can you still do smoking kills and you get more Slayer points per task? I'm not sure. It does something to benefit your Slayer, I know that. As there is no Waterfall Quest for magic and range, I'm just going to keep slaying until I get them both to at least 30, and I think that would be a good start. Okay, this kill should be, there it is, 30 magic, which means we can now wield our Batwing armor and Batwing wand, which is the best that we're going to do as far as easy to obtain store buyable magic gear goes. It is question time once again. This one is an absolute classic, Tree Gnome Village. Going to turn this in. Of course, this is the foundational quest for the whole spirit tree thing, and gives me the ability to use spirit trees, I think outside of the Gnome Stronghold one, which we have to do Tree Gnome Stronghold for, or sorry, the Grand Tree quest for, which of course is next on the menu, because you always do these two together. Just kidding, we had to do some agility first, and instead of doing agility I figured, why not just get another quest out of the way? This one's Tourist Trap. I mean, you all know what Tourist Trap is. It's early game agility XP. It's one of the best ways to get yourself that 25 agility so you can move on to do Grand Tree. Let's choose our second skill in agility as well, and that got us to 27. Perfect. And we're just finishing up the Grand Tree. I found the Draconia rock on the first route. As far as I know, it's random which route appears in, so maybe this account is just blessed with the greatest RNG of all time. Let's hope that's the case. Anyway, this should be the end of the Grand Tree. This is a pretty big step. It unlocks a lot of stuff, such as the Gnome glider system, ability to use the Grand Tree network, although you unlock most of that in Gnome Village, and we get a juicy amount of agility XP, magic XP, and combat XP. So this should be 33 agility, which is awesome because you really need some of these early agility levels to do a lot of the early game questing. And there's 39 magic, so we're getting really close to 40, at which point we can use Split Bark Wand and Orb. So that's going to do it for the second installment of the Hardcore Ironman series. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. I know that we kind of took a break from trying to do Croesus, which was the focus of the first episode, and we've really just been focusing on building up the account, getting some early game stats and quests done. Wow, that unlocks a lot of quest requirements, and I'm just gonna keep going with quests for a little bit, man, because it's just so foundational in an account, getting all the quests done. You need a ton of quest points for Walguthic Sleeps, Silski's Endgame, a lot of those Grandmaster quests that are going to be really cool unlocks in the future. And I've always found it beneficial with a new account to ride that wave of early game motivation that you have to complete as many quests as possible before you start to dislike questing again. As far as what I'm planning on doing in the near future, I really want to take a look at player-owned farms. This is a really huge piece of content that I've never really explored too much before, and farming is one of my favorite skills, so I think I'll probably enjoy it. Continuing the questing, and yes, I will try to get that first Reaper task of 6 Croesus, of which we have 3 more to kill done at long last. So that's what I'm planning on doing within the next few days, so until then, thank y'all for watching, and have a good one.